Sorry, everybody.
There you go.
It's live. Go. I'll be back.
Hey, so if you happen to be tuning in live right now, or if you are watching this on YouTube, we call this Stormfront Freaks Raw. So this is just the recording of our show. We're recording episode 78 tonight. We're going to be talking to the guys from Weather Battle, the fantasy forecasting game. So it should be fun. But if you want to watch an edited version or listen to an edited version of this, go to your favorite podcast app and search up Stormfront Freaks. And we usually have the edited version of this available usually the Sunday after we record. So we're recording on Thursday, should be available Sunday. If you want to watch the edited video of this instead of watching the raw version, the fun part about raw is you get a little bit of everything, right? You get all the behind the scenes, you get the breaks, you get me burping, on the
that's a precursor to later.
That is right, John. That's definitely a precursor. It's not nearly as good as that one. I did listen, but anyway, so the edited video is usually shown broadcast on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV the following Thursday. So next Thursday that should be on, and we usually get that up on YouTube a couple weeks afterwards as well. But if you like a little bit of everything, this is what you get when you watch it raw. So, all right, we I think are waiting on Kim. Let me quick send her a text because I know she was. Kim, we are on. Ready for you.
Hurry up,
It's
Kim.
that whole time zone thing for her, right?
John and John, I'm Dina. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you
Hi.
as well.
I'm Mark, but they call me Maz. And
Maz.
this guy right there is
That'd be
another
me.
Mark.
No, you got to point down.
They call me
Point
MJ.
down?
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, because they see they'll see you on a big
Oh,
picture.
right.
They see him.
Yeah,
on
that guy right.
I'm sort of the technical producer, and I was late getting here today because I had other things going on. And
Well,
a year ago on this same day, I schmucked a deer on my way back from where I was, and I didn't even make it. And I didn't make it to the show. So today I'm here.
Deer.
Hi, Kim.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what is that?
Oh, yeah, he's from Minnesota. Can you tell? Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, guys.
That deer
Hi,
down
gals.
there.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so hey, John and John, I realized having you guys together like that, we don't get you with earbuds. So
Yeah.
the only challenge we might potentially have is when we ask you a question and you start talking, the first part of what you say maybe gets cut off as the computer's trying to cancel the noise and then start adding yours and all that stuff. But
We're TV guys, so we can start to talk and then pause for a second.
There you go.
So awesome.
Yeah,
Dramatic pause.
exactly.
all right, I got to make a couple quick setting changes
Nothing better than the
here.
pauses.
All right, everybody, Dina, tap your mic quick. Good. Kim, tap your mic. Good. Maz.
Oh, just kidding.
That's so funny.
MJ.
Always the jokester.
All right,
Yeah.
so everyone's good.
Mm.
If you have to for any reason, John's, if you got to mute yourself, if you go to move your mouse at the very top of the screen, there's an option to mute your microphone, mute your camera. Careful when especially you guys, John's, because your mic is on your laptop. Anything you do on your laptop, tapping the keys, that kind of stuff will come through. So just be a little bit aware of that.
I did put it on Do Not Disturb just for that reason.
Okay.
Oh, right. Good idea.
Mute your phones if you haven't. And we'll do our what are you drinking. So we'll get started. We'll do the intro, general intro on some things. And then we'll go around, introduce the co-host. What are you drinking? You can be short and sweet with that. And then John's, I will include you guys in the what are you drinking.
Sweet.
But that won't be your actual introduction. As soon as we get done with the what are you slamming down, I'll turn it over to Kim
Okay.
to give you the actual introduction. And then at somewhere maybe around 25 after, since we're about 5 minutes late here tonight, we'll take a quick break. And then come back and finish and do questions, all that kind of stuff. Okay?
Okay,
Everybody
so
ready
real
to go?
quick, how
Yes.
are we distinguishing John from John? Is there, you want to do a, if I want to ask a certain John a question.
Well,
You're
there's
not-
John
you're not
John
conjoined,
Moss.
are you?
John Moss has got the white T-shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can be John M. or
So we could
I
do
can be-
Moss. We could just
Yeah.
do
Okay.
Moss and Haverfield.
Yep.
That works for us.
At least you're sitting in the right order that we have them on our paper.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you
So yeah, so Moss
they're
white
there.
T-shirt, Haverfield. Haverfield's got the plaid on,
Okay.
which is great for camera, by the way. Looking,
Yeah. Come on, TV. Man.
it's
Yeah.
freaking me out. You're
Thanks,
freaking
you
me out,
guys.
man.
I'll
Okay,
see
let
your
me,
I'll see your pair of Johns raise you a pair of Marks and a couple of Queens.
There you go.
Dina and Kim.
Hey.
Aww.
Oh God, we're on a roll.
We-
All right,
we
let's go ahead and
win.
get started. Here we go. In 3, 2. Hey, welcome everybody to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. It's brought to you by Extreme Tornado Tours. They're the world's most popular storm chase tour company, and they're the exclusive chase tour of the Stormfront Freaks. You got to realize the 2020 schedule is online right now, so don't make the mistake of waiting to schedule your chasecation for next year. Visit extremetornadotours.com for details. If you happen to be listening for the first time, thanks for stopping by. You got to go to stormfrontfreaks.com so you can access our library of all of our previous shows of famous guests from the weather industry like Reed Stowe, designer of the storm chasing video game Storm Quest. We've also had Roto Grinders fantasy sports meteorologist Kevin Roth on the show, but this is episode 78. We're excited to be joined tonight by Jon Moss and Jon Haverfield of the new fantasy forecasting game Weather Battle. We'll also be playing our lightning round game show with the two of them. And don't miss our exclusive Tornado Talk and Tracker Chat segments. As well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our fan favorite Weather Fools and Weather Trollbot 5000 tonight. So it's going to be a big show,
Awesome.
but before we get to all of that, let's go ahead and introduce the team. It's always happy hour when we record here at the Stormfront Freaks Bar, so I hope you are joining us there at home. But we're going to start with MJ, who just rushed in and got in tonight. Are you drinking anything? Did you have time to get anything to drink?
Of course, I ran up and did that before I came in here. What are
Smart
you
man.
kidding me?
Priorities.
And we've got a one of my favorites, the Captain and Coke in my Star Wars glass.
Oh,
Big
Right.
nice.
A lot of Captain and a lot of Coke.
Yeah.
Who
Yep,
knows?
let's call it that.
Who knows? All right, Maz. Maz, what are you drinking?
Well, I don't have like 64 ounces like MJ does, but I can't. Hey, Easter's over, and so I had. Now I'm going right to the Guinness Extra Stout,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
happy
Thank you.
Easter.
and I haven't turned the air conditioning on in here, so I'm actually starting to sweat with this. So.
It's all the
That's
bright
nice.
TV lights.
Is that what it
Getting
is?
warm.
Yeah, it
Getting
always
warm.
is.
All right, Kim, what are you drinking this evening?
I'm back to beer, you guys.
Good for you.
All right, Kim.
Where'd you go?
So,
Where'd you been my whole life?
I know. Where have I been your whole life?
Yeah, you've been this wine
I
lady.
know.
Who is this person?
I don't know, but it didn't feel right, you know.
No, it
So I
didn't.
had to go back. When it starts to get warm again, I'm like, okay, got to bring the beer out. So I'm back to Bell's Two Hearted Ale. It's what I had in the refrigerator, so that's what I'm drinking. Anyway, yeah. So enjoy it.
Gotta restock.
Got to
Time to
restock.
restock.
It is.
All right, Dina. Dina, what are you drinking this evening?
See, I'm not fancy like you guys. I just have a Michelob Ultra.
Good old old.
I'm like the most boring beer drinker ever. You know?
Dina, we got to get you out
I
there
know.
for craft beers.
Kim always talks about IPs and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what they are.
Please.
Whatever works. Whatever works. Hey, let's
Whatever.
hit our guests. We always have our green room fully stocked, our digital green room. So let's find out. Jon Moss, what are you drinking this evening?
We're drinking the same thing. It is a
Oh, you both are.
double IPA from American Solera here in Tulsa. As my dog likes to say, he's drinking water too. So
And he's
Aw.
mad. He is mad.
See that? They're IPA drinkers. I love it.
Did you just throw the can at the dog?
oh, no,
Um,
he was just barking.
Oh, okay.
He wanted,
Aw.
wanted some
Cool.
camera time.
Isn't that lady from Lady and the Tramp?
Same dog. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog, same
Not
color.
the-
King Charles Spaniel.
I know my cartoons.
if John, it's going to be hard when you're talking, but if you do have to mute yourself, if he's
Yeah,
barking at
I'll
all in the
make sure to do
background or
that,
something.
yeah.
But you'll probably be doing most of the talking, so that's probably going to be hard to do. But all All right, we'll edit. We'll edit that little part out after.
I don't know why.
After
So
the
nice.
break. And-
Awesome. I love it.
Okay. So here we come back. 3, 2. All right, Kim, let's go ahead and introduce our guests.
I would love to. Well, tonight we have special guest Jon Moss, who is an executive VP of business relations for Weather Battle, which is a fantasy forecasting game. Now, Jon is a former TV sportscaster and most recently sports director at the ABC affiliate in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and currently freelances in communications and video production. And we also have Jon Haverfield, who is the VP of sales and a meteorologist at Weather Battle. Jon has been chasing storms across Oklahoma since he was 16, witnessing over, this is incredible, 50 tornadoes.
Wow.
Jon has been a TV meteorologist. It is very impressive. For 7 years in Waco, Texas, and most recently at KJRH in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Guys, it's so exciting to have you here. One of you or both of you, doesn't matter. Why don't you guys give us your 30-second Shark Tank pitch about Weather Battle?
I can start with that one. You can chime in.
He's a Shark Tank guy.
I am a Shark Tank guy. So basically what we did, my partner and I that started it, we were big fantasy football players, daily fantasy, DraftKings, FanDuel, that kind of thing. He's a meteorologist as well. He was really depressed when the football season was over, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go lose his money. And so I said, why don't we come up with something new? You're a weather guy. Why can't we incorporate the weather into what you like to play? And so, 2 years later, it has morphed into what it is now, which is basically the weather version of DraftKings and FanDuel. You draft your cities instead of players. You have a salary cap. Each city has a certain point value associated with it, which has to do with historical data as well as forecasted highs or lows, depending on which game you're playing. You enter and you potentially win money if you think you can predict the weather.
And we kind of got tired of viewers calling in and Facebooking us too, saying, I think I could have got that forecast a little better than you. And so we said, well, why don't you put some money on it, and we can make a game out of it, and kind of went from there. And we got a lot of people who like to do forecasting and like to challenge other meteorologists too already playing the game.
Yeah.
So guys, I've seen your website and there's different battles on there. So how do you what does it cost to start to participate?
As of right now, there are free games where you can win money as well. So we're basically giving away money to get people used to. Yeah, right. Well, come on in.
Now we're talking.
Hey, I've played 2 and I've won $3.50 so far.
Oh, so you have won. That's
yeah.
Yeah. Right. So really right now there's heat, cold, precipitation, and wind. There's 50-50 battles where you can challenge someone kind of heads up. Other than the free ones, it starts at $5, and then the pots kind of go up from there. As the entry fee goes up, the pot obviously gets higher as well.
I got an idea for you.
What's that?
Well, back at Nebraska, we used to do a contest like that, and nobody won any money. I'm like, oh, you start talking to some colleges, especially like the AMS chapters.
Yeah.
And if you tell them they could win money, hello. That's beer money. Right. So
are you looking for a marketing job?
Nah, I got one. Thanks. Appreciate it. Just here to help you out, guys.
Appreciate it.
That's so awesome. I actually signed up. I haven't played yet, but I'm Dorothy on there. So
but I your username, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm taking you down, Dorothy. You're
Who
going down.
are you,
Whoa!
Phil? Who are you?
I'm not original at all. I think it's Phil SFF podcast or something.
Okay.
I'm trying to market our podcast a little bit.
Good marketing.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is good marketing. Yeah.
So guys, you get points for cities, because I've never played fantasy football. I'm one of those weird people who didn't, but I'm kind of I was looking at the games. It looks fun. Like you get to pick so many cities and points. I'd like the win one, because if there's a derecho or something and you pick Chicago and then Indy and then Cincinnati, maybe you'll clean up something like that. But your points, how do they work? It's different for each one. Yeah.
So I'll jump, and you can jump in on the meteorological side in a second. So basically, the points are, if you're playing a heat battle, for example, the high temperature during the time of the battle is the points you get for that city. So whatever the recorded high is during the battle time is the points you get for the city. And so those are the points that accumulate. In the heat battle, it would be the most points, like the highest point value wins. Cold battle would be the opposite. It would be you would want to get the least amount of points because it adds together the same way.
Yeah, and everyone picks 10 cities, and the point value per city is based on the normal high. For instance, on a heat battle will be the normal high and the forecasted high. So we have an algorithm that determines the points for each city. So obviously, in a heat battle, Phoenix, Arizona is going to be worth a lot. So you may not be able to pick that one and also get the rest of your 9 cities. So you'll have to pick kind of sleeper cities that generally aren't as warm, but may have an unusually warm day, and that's where kind of the forecasting comes in.
Yep.
And so, like, Fargo, North Dakota wouldn't be like a big point factor for that city. So it's kind of the way it's scaled.
Yeah, and that's also what makes it a game of skill is how it's categorized, because there is some skill involved. You can't just pick the 10 cities that are forecasted to be the hottest because of the point, the salary cap, if you will.
Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong with Fargo? What's Fargo?
Great show, great movie. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Fargo.
Not very hot.
I got a chipper shredder with your name on it, man.
So Haverfield, how do you pick the cities that you can pick from? How are those chosen?
So those are kind of chosen randomly, and we kind of pick some of the bigger metros. So we've got kind of a database of some of the more dependable METARs across the country, and we kind of just go from there. So there's not one place that we pick other than another city. We just kind of get the big metropolises and some of the medium-sized cities too.
It is an automated process as well. So we can go in and manually pick if we wanted to set up a game with certain cities, but 99% of the time it's an auto-populated 40 cities that gets picked out of the.
It's 40. So you have to pick 10 of the 40, and the 40 is randomly chosen.
Yeah. Some of the games, if it's a heads-up game, it's 5 cities that you have to pick, I believe. But regardless of the number, it is out of that big pot that it's randomly chosen.
And we also have rapid battles where they're only 3-hour battles, and we can base those off of time zones. So we'll do like an East Coast battle, a Central battle, a West Coast battle, and those will only be those cities. And
I was wondering about the time frames. You said there's a 3-hour one. Is it like a 24-hour one if you're doing temps or something?
Yeah, so that's the main the idea, like the main battles where you'll see the biggest pots as of right now. Mm-hmm. Those are full day battles. So if you enter today, it would be for tomorrow, and the time frame would be tomorrow. I think it's 10 to 10 or 10 to 11, something like that.
Yeah.
And then those rapid battles, though, they're 3-hour battles that are set for the same time but in different time zones.
And you guys, you say that you can, you pick the cities, but you have to stay within the budget. Now, tell me about the budget. What is that?
So we had this algorithm, a guy at MIT helped us make this algorithm to assign the point values to the cities. And so we had to come up with a kind of a salary cap or a budget, kind of the cap to that, so that it became a game of skill, so that you couldn't just say in a heat battle, take Phoenix and Death Valley and El Paso and all the cities that are going to be really, really hot. So to make it a game of skill, to add that skill factor, do your research, try to pick a sleeper city, whatever. We set the salary cap at a level. It's usually 40,000 points or dollars, whichever helps it compute in your mind, regardless of the game you play. And that way you can only afford maybe 1 or 2 of those top tier cities in each battle.
And it's kind of set up similarly to other daily fantasy games like DraftKings or FanDuel. They each have salary caps like we do, and you pick your players for those, like say, for instance, football, and it kind of works the same way. So like a really good player like Tom Brady would be worth a lot. Phoenix would be worth a lot in our heat battle. So it's similar kind of format that I think would be very understandable for folks that are kind of making the transition or do a lot of daily fantasy sports.
But not Fargo. I don't get that.
School battles, Fargo's your sleeper.
I wonder if you get bonus points for Tulsa since you guys are in Tulsa.
Right, yeah. I like to see Tulsa in the battles, but it is randomly populated. So sometimes we'll get Oklahoma City, or sometimes we'll get no cities from Oklahoma, and it's a bummer. I like to see people in there. Yeah.
Have you ever had a city throw a game?
Not yet. I'm waiting for city management to actually do that. Hasn't happened.
So here's the point. Here's a money question. Obviously, you guys see some kind of financial success or a path to that through this, or you wouldn't be doing it. But, here's the thing. So we've been doing a weather podcast for 3 years. And when we started this thing, we knew it was a very niche, high niche market, and that it wasn't, we're not going to get 1 million viewers and downloads, and it's too niche. It's too of a small subset. So
it's like 4 drunk people and a couple of moms.
Yeah, that's about exactly right.
Times.
Yeah.
So that's my question to you guys, is trying to make it, profitable. How do you see something so niche being financially worthwhile?
I'll tackle it first. There's a couple avenues I want to go down. Number one, I think we all know people like to gamble on pretty much anything these days.
I'd take that bet. I would.
Yeah. Gambling is a part of everyday life for a lot of people, and we've provided something that has no off season.
That's a good point.
365 days a year. You don't have to be a sports fan. And so that's the thing. Like, you lose a lot of people that like to gamble, that go to Vegas and play craps or blackjack or whatever, but they might not be sports fans. Especially, I know a lot of people that applies to, so they don't do the daily fantasy stuff. Well, now, eventually we hope to provide weather information in addition to allowing people to play the game. So it would be kind of a one-stop shop, if you will, for getting to play the game, potential to win money, scratch the gambling itch, and it's something you could play every single day of the year, and you don't have to worry about kind of the seasons that come along with the sports.
Right, that's right. And eventually, we kind of envision it becoming somewhat of a forecast app too for people whenever they get on their phones. That's a big reason why people are checking their phones to look at the weather, so they could go to our app and look at the weather and be like, it's going to be 75 today. Well, do you want to maybe put some money down and enter a heat battle and say that it will be 75, and kind of get your weather information and also possibly win some money.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever see expanding the battles, like with severe weather or hurricanes, snowfall totals, that kind of rain total, stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. The sticky part for me, and my partner and I, when we founded it, we had this conversation because, we're in Tornado Valley, obviously, right. Mr. 50 tornadoes over here. You have to be careful that you don't try to monetize people's livelihood and stuff like that. So there is a way to do it. We're just trying to figure out exactly what that is. But the snowfall stuff, you're 100% right. We envision doing some different ski resort, because I just moved back to Tulsa from Denver, Colorado. And so I had some conversations with some guys that run some of the apps up there that us skiers and snowboarders look at. And so you could do different ski resort battles, just kind of, regionalized to the Colorado area. Or you could do game day stuff coming up for the upcoming NFL season, even like the stadiums and the cities that are hosting games. Those can be the cities that you pick from the battle. So that's the fun thing about it. Phil, kind of go back to your question, there's 500 different avenues and ways that we could expand, and different things that we could do that it's unique. It's stuff that's really never been done in the weather sphere where we are. So it's kind of exciting to figure out where exactly we can go.
And I think connecting it too with sports would be a big thing in the future as well, because I know how weather affects sports a lot, especially with football and golf and a lot of things like that. Especially football, how cold it's going to be, and that's going to affect the players.
Rain and wind and all of it. Yeah.
Any sport essentially that's outside has to deal with the elements, so we could kind of incorporate that and make it a part of the game as well.
Did you guys prior to getting this started, did you do any kind of market research to help you determine financial feasibility, or was it really just, hey, I think this might be a good thing? Yeah, so
it actually started on an Excel spreadsheet. That's how the game started. And so we emailed it around to some of our friends in the weather business or whatever, just to get feedback. It's like, is this a feasible thing? Like, is this something you would enjoy playing?
It's better that than a bar napkin. At least you were probably in a right frame of mind when you were starting.
Exactly. And so, we got good feedback from that, and it's been through, this is now the third or fourth generation of it. And so the feedback has really been, it's actually surprised me, because I came from the sports world. And so I didn't know the hardcore weather, I didn't know that world. Like, I didn't realize that there were so many people that were so invested and so. I'm trying to be politically correct and not say like weather geeks or anything like that. I don't
Freaks,
know.
yeah, we're freaks.
That's okay.
That's all right.
You can say it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're
I'm proud to be a weather geek.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that like so many people either know so much about the weather or, and which is beneficial for us, think they know. Those are the type of people we want to play the game. So if you think you know the weather, come on and download the app.
I had some news directors that thought they knew weather.
That too. Hey, freaks. I'll tell you what, you've heard me talk about the Atmosphere Weather app recently. Well, the makers of the Atmosphere Weather app, they have designed another weather app that's going to make you wonder while no one else ever thought of this. So just like we're talking about Weather Battle, the Drive Weather app, okay, it's called Drive Weather. It's an easy way of looking at the entire forecast for a long road trip or a commute. It allows drivers to easily and quickly know what the forecast calls for along a route and lets users change times to see the changing weather and find the safest time to leave. Whether it's precipitation, winds, temp, even radar, it literally takes seconds to see the weather for an entire trip, and it couldn't be simpler. So question is, do any of you guys, do you have a road trip planned this summer? Kim, Dina, MJ? RV trip, motorcycle.
Maybe to the coast.
Motorcycle. Okay, so there we got. So here's the thing. The Drive Weather app, it's going to keep you safe with just a few seconds. You can learn more at driveweatherapp.com, and that's app with 2 P's. So, hey, we're going to take a short break. Go ahead and refill your drink. You can check out Tracker Chat with the Tornado Trackers as they talk about the best practices for storm photography. We will be right back. All right. Cool.
Very cool.
I like how Kim claps. And it's part of the audience.
Yay. And so, hey, if you're watching us live or YouTube, whatever, if you're watching it raw, you're missing the Tracker Chat because we edit that in. So that's a reason why you should go back and at least listen to the audio version because they've got some good segments, especially if you like chasing, Mr. Haverfield.
Oh yeah,
right. Okay.
I know I'm going to call you Cloverfield by accident. I apologize if I do.
The chase tour thing, I was fascinated by that. I didn't know that was a market. There are storm chasing tours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, you live in Tulsa and you don't know that?
I didn't know.
They're all over
right
Oklahoma.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, did you see 50 tornadoes from your like deck or something or what?
Oh no, I would.
Okay.
I've been chasing since I was, a kid basically, and went out with my dad. I chased a lot in college and stuff, and mainly still most of those in Oklahoma, surprisingly, a few in Texas, but yeah, got pretty lucky.
All right, so let's do this. I don't want to waste any good questions. I'm gonna, because I still do have some questions for you guys, and I don't know co-hosts about the rest of you, but I'm gonna cut the. I thought it was kind of weak anyway, but the question of the week. What's your worst weather-related situation you've been in?
Oh, I don't know. You and I have a couple good ones.
We do. We definitely do. But we'll
for another time.
We'll save that maybe for we've always been fortunate that we've gotten our guests on. We've gone 78 shows now.
Right.
And our guests have always gotten on that we haven't had to go crap. We got to wing it tonight with just the co-hosts.
Yeah, we are really lucky with that.
We have. Yes. So we've never had to make up topics amongst ourselves to talk about. So
we could do it though.
We'll
save that for that time when that
happens. And other than Kim and Dina, who've been on the show as guests, MJ, myself, Maz, I mean, we haven't talked a whole lot about ourselves a ton.
Boy, everybody wants to hear that. So
that's true. I bet they do by now. They feel like they know you guys.
All right. So here's what we'll do. We will come back. I'll come back. I'll start with a question, and we'll just kind of keep going with questions for the Johns.
The Johns.
Johns.
John Squares.
Sounds rude.
And then we're gonna go to our lightning round. We'll go to our lightning round. And then, guys, I'll ask you about how people can follow Weather Battle, find it, download it, all that jazz. And then we'll take another break.
Cool.
Okay? All right. So let me get this ready. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Let's do this. All right. Coming back in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back. We're with the brains behind the Weather Battle fantasy forecasting game. I'm calling them the Johns, but Jon Moss and Jon Haverfield. We talked a little bit about any kind of research marketing on the front end. My question is, now that you've released the app, you've got the website, where are you spending most of your time and dollars marketing your game right now?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we've had a good footprint. We've had a good reaction to the website before the app came out. And that's really, I think total, we've spent maybe $300 in marketing. So we've completely bootstrapped it, paid for most of it ourselves. We now have a couple investors, but
sounds like our marketing our plan as well.
Startup marketing pretty much. But now that the app is in the App Store, which all you have to do is search Weather Battle and you can see it on your iPhone, Google Play Store. It should be there within a week or two. They've been a little slower, but it will be there eventually. But now that we have that, we thanks to Mr. Haverfield over here to my left, he had a connection from college that runs a marketing firm in LA. And so we brought them on to kind of push us to the 40 states where the game of skill that we provide is legal. And so that was the biggest chunk of change that we spent leading up to this point, was the different legal reviews that we had to get just to prove to everyone that would inquire, including the App Store and Google Play and, potential investors and everything, that we were considered a game of skill, that we are legal in 40 to 50 states and all of that lawyer jargon that we had to pay for. And so now that all that's behind us, the development is pretty much done. We'll always, keep updating and refreshing the app. But now the majority of the money is going to be spent on marketing. It's going to be a nationwide push to those 40 states in which we're able and legal to play.
Yeah, really marketing is key right now. We've actually had over 100,000 entries, game entries, since the beginning of last year on our website.
That's incredible.
Again, like John said, that was with little to no marketing at all.
Yeah.
Basically just our Twitter and our Facebook kind of getting retweets and people talking and it kind of going a little bit viral, so to speak. But now, since we've got a proven concept, marketing is what it's all about. And we're kind of targeting that daily fantasy realm, people who already play daily fantasy sports and are kind of looking for the thing to do in the off season, or like the next big thing,
or to supplement their other big of an addict.
So what are you doing to target those folks? What are you using? What methods or media?
Yeah, so right now it's mainly through social media. So it's mainly through Facebook and targeted ads, the pay-per-click stuff for Facebook, promoted posts and whatnot on Instagram, and then those same promoted posts and ads on Twitter right now.
Yeah, it'll all be digital marketing and influencer posts as well on Instagram, Facebook.
Sadly, you can't put out an ad in the newspaper and reach as many people these days.
Right.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So if you win, how do you cash in?
So we actually, I'll pull the.
I'm ready to play.
He laughs.
You can't
cash.
Yeah, we keep your money. You don't
keep it in house.
I knew there was a catch. It was too good to be true.
We actually had a guy that had been playing since the beginning that made a withdrawal. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before. And I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was an amount of money that my partner and I looked at each other and we were like, "Holy bleep! Like, are you kidding? We're pulling out this money now? Dang it!" All right.
You won some good money, huh?
No, he won. Yeah, it was a lot. It was 5-figure money. Like it was good. It was
Nice.
good.
Wow.
So I mean, if you play and you play enough, like some of the pots, like we'll put. I mean, I'm trying to think of the highest pot I've seen. It might have been a $10,000.
Yeah.
Totally
we can
playing.
do $1,000 games.
Yeah.
Here and there, $2,000 games.
So I mean, you can, for a relatively low entry fee potential, if you can pick your cities wisely, you can win money. So to answer your question, the actual technical answer, all you have to do is submit a withdrawal request, and then we're in the process of getting PayPal on board to be able to more quickly get you your money back. Right now, we just send you a check from the bank.
And do you have to claim it?
You do. So the first time,
We're ready.
Right.
You and I are ready.
If it's
We're
above
playing.
a certain amount, we have you fill out the tax form before we send you the check. So it's all on the up and up.
Yeah, it's it's like 500 or 800 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right.
So here, a couple questions here. First one, so you're talking about states. So there's 40 states. is there a state like
Did
if
you
I
say
live
there's
in, I
40
can't
states?
play? No, there's 40 states you can play or that are legal to play.
Okay.
Some like are illegal.
Jeez.
History game, social studies game.
Yeah. So what's it? So what's a state I can't play in? Or how does that work?
One, for example, would be Nevada because they like their gambling.
Oh.
So it's there are 10 states where, and it's something that we keep an eye on constantly because it's a constantly changing and evolving thing with litigation and legislation and all that stuff. But right now there are 10 that don't allow any sort of online, whether it's a game of skill, whether you call it gambling, whether you call it betting, whatever you call it. There are 10 states that kind of say no, not right now. So hopefully that changes.
You don't want to swim with the fishes either. So Nevada's totally out. Yeah.
So do I have to claim where I live and then that tells me whether or not I can play a game?
So
is that how it works? Okay.
Part of the expenses that we paid for earlier on is there's a geolocation and kind of like a geofencing.
Oh, so you can't lie about it.
Right. So it'll pinpoint where you are, and if you say you're somewhere different than where you are, it'll flag it.
And Georgia's legal, right? Because Kim and I are in Georgia. We're ready to play.
Yeah, I'm signed up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, there's only one state that has legalized online gambling, and I think that's New Jersey, where they can actually bet online, where it doesn't have to be a game of skill. I think that's just New Jersey.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But again, like John said, it's changing a lot, and it's going in the way that there's more and more states, and I think it's a couple of years it's going to be a different landscape.
You say it doesn't have to be a game of skill, and all I can think of is Vegas Vacation, where it's like guess the number, they play war.
Yeah.
That's which
okay.
hand?
So I got another idea. Where'd you guys go to school?
Both went to University of Oklahoma.
Okay, so Nebraska will kick your heinies. So here's my thought.
Game of the
You can
century.
have like a Big 10, a Big 12.
Yes.
The SEC, this time they probably won't win, right? Because the SEC.
I'm gonna make some
whatever.
notes.
I'm just,
I love
yeah.
that idea.
That is awesome.
And it's a bowl game at the end. That's how you get everyone on campus.
I
I end with the national. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh, a national
Yeah.
championship?
I like
Small
this.
royalty.
Well, so tell you what. On that note, what are some of the ideas you have as far as game options that you're thinking of maybe adding down the road?
Yeah. So
Or weather patterns or something?
sure. Yeah. The first one that I really wanted to see added, and I had been on since the beginning, is the one that just came on a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, which was the rapid battles. Because I'm more of and maybe it's my personality, I'm not sure, but if I gambled today, so like before these rapid battles came out, if I played the game today, the game day would be tomorrow, but I wouldn't see if I won until the following day. And that for me in this now society is like, hold on, we got to figure out some way. I thought originally, I was like, why don't we do like a rush hour battle? Like it can be morning and night, whatever it is. But so that's where the idea for the rapid battles was born. So now that that's there, we kind of missed the ski season, like the ski resort battles, those specific battles. But I think the next one that we're going to get on to try to do is to tie in with the beginning of the football season, preseason, in August, and do those stadiums. I don't really know what we're going to call it or exactly how we're going to do it, but the stadiums and the cities that are hosting games, those will be the cities that you pick from. You'll probably only be able to pick 5 because at the most there's 16 home games. So that it'll probably be pick 5. That's probably the next one that we'll flush out. But I mean, there really is. There's 500 different ways you can go with things. The thing I'm excited the most about, like we talked about it a little bit, is eventually, like I want this to become something where instead of opening your weather app from Apple or whatever it is, Weather Underground or whatever app you use, WeatherBug, to get your weather, you open up Weather Battle, you see the forecast. It has a regionalized video forecast, just like you would get from your local news, depending on which part of the country, because we already have the geolocation going. So whatever part of the country you're in, where you open the app, that's the forecast you get for that day. A meteorologist on your screen telling you temperatures and everything. But I kind of see it being like, you see the high temperature, you see the low temperature, and you see the point value for that city. And then you can log on, you can click the next button and just go ahead and play the game and try to win yourself some money.
That's cheating.
I kind of like the idea of kind of live data coming in. And so, with sports, you bet on a sports team, you can watch the game and kind of get into it. And with weather, it would be cool to have some type of a graphical map that would show the temperatures rising or changing, or the wind, the live winds, or the radar with the rain coming down, the live precip totals, something like that. So people can really interact with that and kind of hit on what John said as well. Envisioning a lot of people who don't really know much at all about weather who want to play the game. So we want to provide a little bit of education for weather and kind of say, like, these would be some of the best cities to pick for the day. So because we've got a cold front coming through, so these cities are usually warm, they're going to be colder. So you might want to pick these and just kind of give like a weather analyst point of view.
Well, John, that's which was something I was going to ask you, Jon Haverfield. So give us a preview of what the Jon Haverfield Weather Battle Tips exclusive on the Stormfront Freaks podcast is going to sound like.
That's not a green screen behind us, though. There's a map, though. There's a map.
Lost without a green screen.
Yeah. So do that. So just give us a couple, John. Give us a couple expert tips for playing Weather Battle,
bro.
And that'll be our preview for your segment on our show.
Yeah. So you want to play. You want to win money. We've got a big cold front coming through the plains right now, so you want to pick these cities here in the northern plains because usually they're warm, but today they're going to be pretty cold. So those may be your sleeper cities. Talking about wind as well, you've got high pressure coming in from the west, and that's going to switch those winds around. You're going to see some strong winds behind the cold front. So you're going to want to pick these cities as well.
That's good. That's good. I'm looking for some general tips. So give me an idea. So here's how I won $3.50 playing free Weather Battle. and how you win that is you finish in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the worst and I wasn't the best, but I spent about 15 minutes on the HRRR model. Is pretty much all I did, and then did some quick geography research.
Nice.
So that's my sort of tip. But give us something better than that, John, because that's not an expert tip.
So remember when I said the Excel spreadsheet was the beginning? I won that first game. Sports guy over here.
Okay.
Won
Really?
iteration
Nice.
of Weather Battle. So I'll give you a tip. What I did, and the way that I won at Weather Battle, was to strategically pick. So basically I broke it into tiers, right? So I strategically picked one of the top 2 or 3 cities that had the highest point value. And then it's just a mathematical equation after that. However many of the middle tier I could pick that fit into that. And then I just back-ended it with, and I got lucky, with cities that were supposed to be really cold in a heat battle. And
like Fargo.
Lucky. Yeah, Fargo.
Fargo's one of them.
City of the night. I love you, Fargo. More meteorological, I don't take it over.
Basically, you just have to know the synoptics of what's going on, and you're going to get kind of those big swings, obviously, when there's a lot of changes going on, big cold fronts, big time rainstorms, where you're going to get those cities. And I think the game that has the most change in variables would be the precip game, because you can go from just a few miles and see 0 and 3 inches of rain sometimes with those springtime thunderstorms. So I think especially with the rain battles, you got to really try to use, like, HRRR would be great for that, and kind of see where those storms would be and maybe future precip as well. So you don't need to dive too into the meteorological aspect, because again, we want to keep this pretty open to a big population, the general public. And we kind of want to give our best analysis, if you will, for the weather of the day, and maybe provide that in a little video, a little 30-second video people could watch and say, hey, John told me to do this, so maybe I'll pick these cities, and maybe
Or it's like most of the people that win those pools that you enter for the NCAA tournament, they're the people that have never watched basketball, and they pick their favorite mascot or they pick their favorite color. So
very true.
You could pick 5 or 10 cities that you've been to on vacation.
Yeah,
That's
how I finished middle of the pack. That's how you do it. That's how you win $3.50 on free Weather Battle.
Phil, that Bachelor of Arts degree is going to pay off for you. I'm telling you.
Eventually. Hey, folks, that's the sound. It is now time for our lightning round. This is our game show of flashy questions for our guests. We invite you to play along with us as well. Tonight, You guys have heard of the old game show Name That Tune? Have you heard of that? Name That Tune?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna play a variation of that. It's called Name That Movie.
Ooh.
Okay.
So name that movie. So a couple things I found out. So you already know Jon Moss has got a sports background, and found out that Jon Haverfield, you have a pilot's license, correct?
Ah,
We have another
go.
pilot, Nina.
good. Nice.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play Name That Tune. And Jon Moss, you are gonna You are gonna have sports movies.
Okay.
And Jon Haverfield, you're gonna have movies about flight or airplanes. Okay.
Right.
And here's what we're doing. I've got 4 clues. Each movie's got 4 clues. The first clue is the year it was released. Second clue is the main actor in the movie. Third clue is the general premise of the movie. And the fourth clue is the movie tagline.
Okay.
Like on the movie poster. Okay. So I'm gonna start. So here's what we'll do. So I'm gonna start with we're gonna start with Jon Moss. Okay. And what you have to do is you have to tell me I can name that movie in 2 clues, 3 clues, 4 clues, whatever it is. I'll give you those clues. You have a chance to call it. And if you do, here's what's going to happen. The winner between the 2 of you is going to be the one with the fewest points.
Okay.
Because you were able to name it with the fewest clues, right?
Right.
If you can't name it with the clues that I've given you, your competitor has a chance to steal it.
Ooh.
And get those points taken off their point total. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have there's 4. You each get 4 movies, and you each have 1 lifeline. So if you want, you can poll the freaks. You can poll the co-hosts and try and get their feedback to help you do that. So you've got 1 lifeline each.
Phil, should the freaks?
Right?
Should we be betting like who's going to win, who's not going to win?
Right, we're putting our viewers and listeners are putting money on it as we speak. So we'll kind of walk through this a little bit. But Jon Moss, I'm going to start with you. Okay, the first movie about sports. Remember, there's 4 clues, and as the clues go on, they get a little bit more descriptive. So give me a number. You can name that movie, and how many clues you think?
Oh, without even knowing anything?
Yeah, I'm not giving you anything. You just got to give me
2. I'll go with 2.
2. All right. So the first movie about sports. This was released in 2011, and the main actor was Brad Pitt.
Oh,
I know this one.
You do?
Brad Pitt released in 2011 sports movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to use my lifeline now.
Oh, okay. You're going to use it now. So we'll use the lifeline. So we're going to the freaks. I'm giving you a sports movie released in 2011 starring Brad Pitt. Uh-oh. Where's my cricket sound effect?
I know he was a bettor, or what? Not a bettor. He was a coach. I don't know. He wasn't a player.
Can I come back in now?
Yeah. You can still use
Moneyball, right?
It was Moneyball. That is correct.
Yeah.
It was.
Did that help, John?
That's my lifeline, but yes.
I didn't help it.
All right, that's all right. So you're out of your lifeline. The other clues was baseball's conventional wisdom is all wrong, and the tagline is "What are you really worth?" Okay.
Not Benjamin Button, huh?
It's not sports. Okay, here we go. Jon Haverfield. These are movies about flight. So take your guess. You have up to 4 clues.
I'll do 2 as well.
He's going to do 2. All right. This movie was released in 2006, and it starred Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
Snakes on a Plane.
That would be correct.
Wait, what was it?
Snakes on a Plane.
All right.
So the premise, attempt to kill a trial witness on a passenger plane, and the tagline was sit back, relax, and enjoy the fright.
Neither of us have seen it, but we both knew.
All right, Jon Moss, going back to you, sports movie.
Right.
How many clues do you think you got this in?
I'll stick with 2.
You're going to stick with 2. Yeah. All right, this sports movie was released in 2004, and it starred Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Oh, I know this.
Is there a time clock in my head that's going right now?
No, it's in my head.
It's in your head. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, man. Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, 2004 sports movie.
I don't think I'm going to get it.
You're You're not going to get it. All right, so I'm turning it over to Jon Haverfield's got a chance to steal.
Yeah.
Miracle.
That is correct.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That was
awesome.
Miracle.
Good one, good one.
So you're taking 4 on that. So the premise was Olympic hockey team. Tagline, if you believe in yourself, anything can happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, back to Jon Haverfield. Movies about flight. How many clues?
We'll stick with 2.
No, go
Sticking
for
with-
1. Come on.
Sticking with 2. This movie about flight was released in 1986.
Ooh.
Actor Tom Cruise.
Oh, come on.
Seriously.
That one.
What was that?
Top Gun.
That was Top Gun. That is correct.
One of my favorite movies.
Dog. Sounded like Top Dog. to me.
Yeah.
Nice lady.
U.S. Navy Elite Fighter School tagline up there with the best of the best.
Oh, it's
These
coming out
taglines are
too.
interesting. I didn't know a lot of the taglines. That's interesting.
All right.
Mhm.
I thought it was the Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Oh, could have been.
I have a need for
That's
speed.
good. Or it could have been what's anybody else? This is a bonus question. Another sports movie with Tom Cruise.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. Yeah.
Oh.
I should get
All right.
credit for that. That
You
didn't
get no credit. You get no credit. All right, here we go. John Moss. John Moss, sports movie.
Yep.
Go ahead. How many clues?
Oh. I'm going to go 3 this time because I'm not
Yeah.
confident anymore.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
Three.
This sports movie was released in 2004.
Okay.
The actor was Vince Vaughn. And the general premise was competing gyms face off with a big cash prize.
Yeah.
That's a good one. You know this.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it called, though?
So 2004 sports movie with Vince Vaughn, competing gyms face off with a big cash prize.
Old School.
That is incorrect.
What was the one where he was the gymnast?
We're turning it over to Jon Haverfield. What's your guess?
Yeah, it was a part in Old School.
Dodgeball.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
It was dodgeball.
Remember, like Average Joe's Gym?
Correct.
You know what? I never saw the movie.
On
Me either.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah, the Ocho. Remember that F. Chuck Norris?
Okay, here we go. Jon Haverfield, movies about flight. Name that and how many guesses? How many clues?
We'll stick with 2.
Sticking with 2. 1997 movie starring Harrison Ford.
Oh, I know this.
Oh, I know that one, I think.
1997.
1997 movie starring Harrison
I can give
Ford.
you a quote from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Get off my plane.
You still have your lifelines.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I'm trying to help out my friend.
I know.
Yeah.
Where's my help?
Air Force One.
Yeah.
He's throwing the game. He's throwing the game for
Hey,
you.
that was
You get half of
second
those,
away.
by the way.
All right, you're fighting a losing battle here, John Moss.
I know.
Your last movie. How many clues?
How far am I behind right now?
4, 8, 9, 10. You're like
602.
8 or 9.
Like
I don't think you can win.
Can I do
Yes.
0 clues and just guess a movie? No, I'll stick with 2.
Sticking with 2. Okay. 2004 sports movie starring Clint Eastwood.
$1 million
Oh.
maybe.
Very
Oh,
impressive.
yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Nice job.
Boxing trainer reluctant to train a new fighter. And this was the tagline. They didn't have a tagline. The tagline was 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. So there you go.
You don't
All
need
right.
a tagline.
They don't. All right, here we go. Jon Haverfield, your last one. This is for the win. How many clues? Name that movie and how many clues?
I can't do 1 because that'll be just the year. I'll do 2.
You picked 2. All right, so this is a 2016 movie starring Tom Hanks.
Oh,
I know.
Oh.
Holy.
Sully, yeah.
Very good. That was Sully. Congratulations.
There
that was
you go.
actually
Well done.
pretty good. So Jon Haverfield's our winner of Name That Movie.
Way to go, Clover.
All right, so let's do this before we take a break. Guys, tell us how people can find Weather Battle, download it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. So if you search Weather Battle, it's that easy. Weather space battle if you have an iPhone in the iTunes or the App Store, it will come up. Download it, sign up and play. WX Battle is our handle on all social media. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram as well.
That's right. Very good. All right. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and take our final break with our Tornado Talk segment and the story of the Bridge Creek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to have another beer. It's the story of the Bridge Creek Moore tornado of 1999. But we're going to go ahead. We'll be right back. We got Weather Fools and, of course, Weather Trollbot coming right up. So stay tuned. All right, so Johns, I'm going to have you do me a quick favor. I'm going to have you do a quick plug for us.
Sure.
John, you can start off. Say this is Jon Haverfield, and then Moss, you can go. And this is Jon Moss with Weather Battle, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Cool.
Got it.
Awesome.
Go ahead. Start whenever you're ready.
This is Jon Haverfield,
and I'm Jon Moss with Weather Battle, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Nailed it.
Wow, that's good with two of them. That's never happened before.
That's usually our blooper reel. Always covers the people.
No bloopers here.
Trying to say Stormfront Freaks podcast. Yeah.
Good articulation too. Just saying.
All right, so gentlemen, thank you. Now you're welcome to stick around if you want to stick around for Weather Fools and Weather Trollbot 5000. If you got to go, I understand too. So it's your call.
What you call?
Yeah, I can stick around.
We'll stick.
Probably be another 15 minutes.
Awesome.
15
We're
20
here.
minutes.
We're here.
Gotta finish this beer.
Awesome. Okay. And then MJ, we got anybody online we got to say hi to?
You know, it's been a little quiet
Any
today.
questions? Oh my God.
Rick is there for sure, and Gardner Earth Guy. So there you go.
Where are the Germans? Where are they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so Weather Fools. We'll start with Weather Fools. Maz,
Yes.
you're leading that off, so you can introduce it. I
Who's got
have a
'em?
Weather Fool.
I do.
Dina.
I couldn't find anything.
MJ has one that's a listener contribution, so I'll throw that one in.
Okay.
And by the way, when we play a video, you can't really hear it at all.
You can't hear it. Nope,
No,
it's
okay.
really visual
you
only.
Because this is the funniest
Oh.
Weather Fool ever.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
It's good.
Wow, that's
I'm
Alright.
gearing
Setting
it
that
up for this already. It's funny.
Okay.
you are setting that up. Okay,
Yeah, I'm setting
and
it
then Weather Fools. So Jon Moss, do you want to set it up and I can play it? I can play the audio.
Yeah. I'll
You
do
want
that.
to set that up?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jon Moss has one too.
Nice.
Very good. All right, and then we're going to go to Weather Trollbot.
Did you hear?
Do you want to set up the Amanda Kieran
Oh, I did hear it.
one, or just mention maybe what it is,
Yeah.
and then I'll take it from there.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
We'll start with that one.
Okay.
So on the Weather Trollbot, and John's, this goes for you guys too. Basically, I just read off a troll and what the response was from a weather person, and then we play our quote unquote Weather Trollbot that we bought at a garage sale. I input this information, and she kicks out what the weather person was really thinking when they were responding to the troll.
Yeah.
And we put a disclaimer on the front end that it's this segment is not the family friendly segment.
Not Disney.
No,
Yeah.
it's not Disney approved.
For
But so you're welcome to comment or do whatever.
Fair enough.
It's just kind of fun. And then MJ will go to the Freak Fan Box.
I have Freak Fan Box entries.
All right, and then I'll close it up and we will be done. So Weather Fools, Weather Trollbot, Freak Fan Box, close. Anybody got questions? All right.
Nope.
Don't
Is it
forget, Maz, episode 78.
78, gotcha.
Show notes, podcast app, whatever. All right, I'm going to count you in, Maz.
Okay.
In 3, 2.
All right, welcome back. Time now for Weather Fools. It's really starting to gain a gathering or a following, I guess. We got lots of people that love this. This is where people are doing some just pretty much dumb stuff in the weather. Like, what are you thinking, buddy? Okay, so to kick us off for tonight, MJ, you've got something, I understand, yes?
Well, I do. Parker Owens, he's one of our faithful viewers and listeners, sent this one in to us, and I think it fits for sure. The headline is "City Disables Tornado Alarm After Residents Say It's Noisy."
Oh no.
That's right. Alabama officials in Colbert County turned off a 5-alarm tornado siren after residents complained about the noise it made. A resident reached out to WHNT after a tornado touched down in the area, asking why the siren wasn't triggered.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh, my
and
goodness.
WHNT contacted Colbert County EMA Director Mike Melton, who said the siren was turned off 4 years ago. He cited complaints.
Wow.
He cited complaints from 6 residents as the reason. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you go. They're the weather fools.
6 whole
That is
residents ruined it
definitely.
for everybody.
Isn't that terrible?
Yes.
So
4
Unbelievable.
years.
yeah, exactly.
That's incredible.
Man, did they get lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
sure.
All right, good one. That's a true definition
That
of a
is.
weather fool right there. So
For
way
sure.
to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Selfish.
John Moss, you have one of our guests tonight.
All right.
I do, and this one is a little more lighthearted than that one. That one's crazy. So this one, in the morning when you're doing morning news, sometimes you have to do weather, sometimes you have to do traffic, you have to do a lot of things. And the way it works with the morning schedule, apparently, sometimes you do that just after eating or drinking something. You don't really need to see the video; you just need to hear the audio because you can't see the guy on camera. So this is what happened.
All right, I'll go ahead and play that.
On Fox 23, Chase Thompson from KRMG has a look at I-44 across town.
I'm still seeing some brake lights in Catoosa as you merge at the casino. Highway.
7:52 is the time. Staying prepared.
That's great.
The best part is when he disappeared after
Yeah.
it.
I
Oh
thought
my
it was going to be
God.
like a bathroom one where he forgot to turn his IFB off. when he
Oh,
went to the
right.
bathroom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That
Oh,
happened
that's
here in
awesome.
beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, the bathroom ones, that's happening
That's
everywhere. in
happened
the
live on the
country.
Weather Channel. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's worse when it's a guest because the guest has no clue. They don't have an IFB in or anything like that. And the anchors are out there going, because they know they're like, oh, I feel so sorry for Bob.
he ate the sausage.
That's right. Oh, anyway. It's brutal. Because you can see it in the anchor's faces like, no, audio guy, kill the mic. Anyway, okay. Good job, John. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, Phil. So you're on a roll. Keep on going. You got one too, right?
Okay, yes, I do. I'm going to this was from I saw it on Twitter, but it was shared from Reddit, and this was a tornado that passed outside a dorm at Louisiana Tech, and we'll share the link to this. But what's interesting is the fact that if you could hear it, all they're doing is talking about, bro. They're like, they're total college bros. Bro, there's a tornado. It's right outside. They're in the dorm, but they're filming right outside the door. And this tornado, you can see the wind. It's at night, so it's hard, but you can see the wind blowing by, and they're like, oh, bro, it's getting close, bro. Back up, bro. And they're not taking any shelter. They're standing right by the glass doors. This tornado's,
Oh my God.
it opened the door. Yeah.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah.
Oh no.
So it's the bro tornado on the campus of Louisiana Tech. The bros, they are my weather fools.
Oh, that's good.
So here's a meteorological question. How many projectiles come from one glass door?
Ooh,
Ooh.
quite a few.
I'm guessing hundreds, right? Hundreds?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. All right, Dina, you got to save us on this one. I hear you've got a funny one.
This is the funniest weather fool ever. So it is so funny that Jimmy Kimmel picked up on it, and that's where I saw it. And mainly what happens is he's talking about like a meteorologist in Mississippi, and what happened was it's a down home kind of place, I guess, but they're doing tornado coverage, and the chief meteorologist is starting his radar tour, and he's like, okay, find a safe place. This is where this tornado is. And by the way, like, my cat died. And, so I know this place really well. And then he starts yelling at a guy named John. You can see him pointing.
I see him pointing.
Like, John, get off the phone. Do I need to look at this right now? John. And then he goes back. It is the funniest thing ever. You really need sound. You got to watch it.
I'm going to watch
Then he
that.
comes back and like he starts clapping at the guy. He's like, John, pay attention.
Does he know he's on air?
Is John the intern or something?
And then he's yelling at him like, get off the phone. It's the fun. So now it's a big joke about it's a big joke at work that we're doing this because we start clapping at each other now.
Oh no.
And like, when my OCM like Dominica's on or something, I'm like, Dominica, let's go. And he goes, you know what happened, John? Our radar date went down and he missed it. And he's yelling at the guy. It's the funniest thing ever. Like I wish you gotta click on it and watch it, but now like everything in our studio is like, hey.
Are John and this guy still working?
I guess so. But it was he's like, and I know where this place is. My cat died here. So we were driving around, and so I know where it is. And he's like, do you know, John, we missed the radar. It was so funny.
Calling him out.
Why is he driving around with a dead cat? I don't get that.
It's funny. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel made fun of it too, but it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that was pretty good. I look forward to seeing that because we're going to get the audio on our webpage, right?
Yes. Yes.
On the show notes. We'll have the link so people can go right to it and watch it. Yep.
All right. So you can go to stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 78, show notes, or on your podcast app. You can check all that out. Phil?
That's right. All right. Some good hashtag weather fools tonight. We have the luxury. We pulled our Weather Trollbot 5000 back out of the garage because we had some trolls to check out tonight. So I just wanted to remind everybody, if you have kids, it's time for the earmuffs because we never know what Weather Trollbot is going to kick out, what she might say. But I'm going to start. Kim, you and I both found this weather
gem
meteorologist, that had a troll, and she made a comment on Twitter. Do you remember a little bit about it?
I do. Actually, it was really sad. I mean, you see that a lot, especially females. They seem to really get, a lot of weird people posting stuff. Amanda Curran, she's a meteorologist, I believe, in Montgomery. Yep. She tweeted that someone tweeted to her and told her that she was fat. They actually posted a picture of her and a close-up of her face. And another person messaged her and said that her zits were disgusting. Okay, so man. Fat and zits. And so she tweets this out and, says, gosh, can you believe somebody did this? And she said, well, the joke's on y'all because while I might be chunky and covered with acne, at least I'm a nice person. Yeah. And she got like 7,000 likes, 884 comments, and, just terrible. So I want to know what she's really thinking.
What she was really thinking. Yeah. And so we're going to find that
really
out.
Nice.
So with our Weather Trollbot 5000, and again, we found her at a garage sale, and we might find out why she was on sale. But I'm going to enter this information in to our Trollbot, and then we got to have her process it. And then Weather Trollbot's going to kick out here. This is the plan anyway, is to find out what Amanda was really thinking.
Here's what Amanda Curran was really thinking. Thank you for noticing and, more importantly, taking the time to zoom in on my face. It even took greater effort to post a tweet with your in-depth research. Oh, that is right. You have no life, so you have the time to shit on people in this world as opposed to doing something more productive. I hope you realize the world is not counting on you for one damn thing. We will make it a better world without you. And by the way, send me a picture of yourself. My friends and I want to have some fun.
Okay.
I knew it.
It didn't come out that harsh when she put it on Twitter, but that certainly, yeah.
That's good.
Well, good for you, Amanda. I'm proud that of what you were really thinking, because that's worthwhile. All right, so here's another one. So Ella Dorsey, she's a meteorologist at CBS 46 in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And Ella had this on Twitter as well, and this was recently when, and Kim and Dina, you guys know this, when you had some tornadoes moving in on the last day of the Masters golf tournament.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
And so this was in a reply. Ella said, to everyone sending me death threats right now, You wouldn't be saying a damn thing if a tornado was ravaging your home this afternoon. Lives are more important than 5 minutes of golf. I will continue to repeat that if and when we cut into programming to keep people safe.
Wow.
Yeah, good for
So
her.
so she's getting death
remember that.
threats over this.
Unbelievable.
Stupid.
People are nuts.
And I don't know how you guys would react if you were getting death threats, but this at least is what Ella typed. But I'm going to enter this into Weather
You should see how
Trollbot.
fast he types.
Yep,
crazy.
real quick.
Dina, were you typing with one finger?
And so we got to kick this out here and find out via Weather Trollbot what Ella was really thinking.
Here's what Ella Dorsey was really thinking. Oh my God. I didn't realize I was interrupting your precious golf. I just thought it was a sporting event and I decided to put people's lives first. Listen, morons. You can take your pathetic death threats and shove them up your collective asses. I will do what is necessary to warn people. Next death threat you send me, tell me the next sporting event you are looking forward to watching so I can find a storm somewhere in the world to interrupt your bullshit.
There we go. So Jon Moss, she doesn't. She's not real. She doesn't think sports are that important. I guess. No offense, I'm sure.
I love sports, but people's lives are a little more important than Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
So, just gonna tell
All right, and okay. So the last one is kind of a regular with Weather Trollbot. So I think the Weather Trollbot's really figuring her out. But it's Ginger Z, chief meteorologist at ABC News.
It's too much.
So this is from Twitter. This is from @Stanley Singleton. So @Stanley Singleton. This
Stanley is single. Okay.
This is on you. So he said Ginger Z is so much hotter and credible when she doesn't dress like the weather bimbos that are raining down everywhere.
Oh,
my God.
Wow.
let me get my Gippy.
Brilliant. Yes, this is good. Okay, so here was Ginger's response. Now, we probably know this wasn't what she was thinking, but Ginger said, sorry you feel that way. I have a turtleneck and a skirt on. Strange to see that as a bimbo. Fascinated to know what you think I need to wear to make my education, which is a Bachelor of Science in Meteorology, count. And most females on television are degreed meteorologists.
Plus, she's like the nicest person.
I know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what she was really thinking about Stanley. Let me type this into the Weather Trollbot.
Now I'm concerned.
You should always be concerned when it has to do with the Weather Trollbot, because you never know what she's going to kick out. All right, let's see what Ginger was thinking.
Here's what Ginger Z was really thinking. First, I'm fucking beautiful no matter what I wear. I am curious what brothel you visit where your quote bimbos wear turtlenecks and skirts. Because that is what I am wearing. And do you realize the way you speak and type sells you out as having a 5th grade education? Knowing that helps me understand why you will never comprehend that most weather bimbos have college degrees in science and meteorology. Keep dreaming and piss off.
Wow.
Nice.
So there.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Wow.
Ginger, she's snappy.
I had no idea.
She is snappy. All right, so that was our Weather Trollbot. You can see why she's on sale. If you're interested in purchasing her, best offer. We'll take the best offer. But moving on, let's hit our freak fan box. MJ, we got to come up with a punchy jingle to our freak fan box. But what do we have?
Probably do. Well, we got it. It was full this time.
Wow.
So we got quite a few. Ron V was checking in on Twitter and watching our Jessica LaBelle episode. Said great interview, enjoyed it, even the movie quiz. So
we had another movie quiz, so hopefully you enjoyed that one too.
I hope so too. Yeah, Liam Healy again on Twitter. It seems I've reached the point in my life when I listen to podcasts instead of the radio while driving. Shout out to the Stormfront Freaks for getting me in the mood during my 4.5-hour drive back to school to do my meteorology homework.
Nice.
My meso meteorology homework.
Nice.
Yeah.
4.5 hours?
What was his name?
Liam.
Liam.
Rock on, Liam.
Awesome.
Okay.
4.5 hours. That's like 3
Good
podcasts.
luck on finals.
Well, yes, and I was just going to say good luck on your finals as well. Yeah, for sure. Ron Childers says, @Stormfront Freak is one of my favorite weather podcasts. Always great info and lots of laughs too. He was watching the Jim Cantori episode and gave a shout out to that and told everybody that they need to watch that one. So,
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron.
Nice.
thank you much. And I told you it was a full box this time. There's a couple more. Squiddy 7863
Love it.
checked in on iTunes and gave us a review. It says, I love the laid back nature of this podcast and the interactions between the hosts. Thank you, Squiddy.
Nice.
Interesting guests and topics keep me listening. I appreciate that you guys do some audio editing so that the volume is fairly consistent among all of you and your guest streams. Thank you, Squiddy.
Nice. Good.
Yeah,
That's
laid
awesome.
back.
Good job, guys.
Yeah,
You should see us during our shot a minute week when we're doing that.
That's right. Yes.
Really laid back then.
And finally,
Missed that.
Turbulent Skies checked in on Twitter, and they were referencing our episode 52 Women in Chasing episode with guest Beth Allen from Canada, and says best part of listening to Beth on the Stormfront Freaks podcast yesterday was her, we don't have any of that fancy radar. We pretty much just have to look at LRR in the sky.
That was good.
Yep. So thanks everyone for checking in. Obviously, you can reach the Freaks fan box on Twitter at Stormfront Freak or Facebook at facebook.com/StormfrontFreaks or email us at questions.stormfrontfreaks.com. And we are now on iHeartRadio, so you can find the podcast there.
Very fancy.
And whenever you are finding our podcast or wherever it is, be sure to give us a review like Squiddy 7863 did.
Beautiful.
What was the name of the other? Turbulent Skies?
Turbulent Skies.
That's a cool name.
That
Yeah,
is.
Turbulent Skies.
Very cool.
It's like a wrestling name.
Yes,
And in this corner, weighing in at 200 pounds, Turbulent Sky.
That could be your weather battle name, right?
There you go.
Ooh,
Oh,
I better get that one quick.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening or watching. Before I reveal our next guest, if you enjoy the show, do us a favor, as MJ said, leave us a great review on your podcast app. And don't forget to subscribe to the show by hitting your podcast app subscribe button. Works just like a magazine or a newspaper subscription. It's free, just like some of the weather battles. And it assures that the latest show gets delivered right to your podcast inbox the moment that we release it. Hey, special thanks tonight to our guests from Weather Battle, Jon Moss and Jon Haverfield. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
John Boy.
We had a great time and fun chatting with you guys. Our next episode in 2 weeks, we're going to be recording on May 16th. This is, again, part of our Coast to Coast with Your Favorite TV Meteorologist series. We're going to have Josh Eaches from Baton Rouge is going to be with us. If you'd like to watch the recording live at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, check out our YouTube channel by searching Stormfront Freaks. Unless we got anything else for MJ, Maz, Kim, Dina, and the Johns, I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See y'all.
Good job, John Boys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you guys. This is so cool. I can't wait to play this.
I downloaded it already, so.
Good deal.
Wait. Can you
What's
guys
your
see that?
handle?
There it
I
is.
see it.
Yeah, there it is.
Very nice.
I didn't,
Yeah, what's your
I didn't
name?
put the handle
Oh,
yet.
you haven't set one up yet. Okay.
No, I mean,
Okay.
I used my name and signed up, but I haven't picked a handle yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't use your real name in case the bosses are watching and
Right.
you're way off.
Maybe they're,
Yeah.
I have to
all
do
right.
it myself sometime.
So,
Raise
John,
Dina.
so we'll edit this, and the podcast should be up on Sunday, the audio podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all that
iTunes,
jazz.
yep.
You'll see, obviously, I'll post it on Twitter and stuff, so you'll see that, and I'll attach you guys. And then we'll edit the video, and that should air on Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV a week from tonight, same time, 8 o'clock Central Time. So
Awesome. Appreciate you guys letting us do this. It was fun.
Of course.
Yeah, that
Thanks,
was great.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
All
Yeah.
right.
If you need any more ideas, just let us know.
Yeah.
That's
Marketing,
right.
marketing man, right there.
Oh.
We work for beer.
Drink all the Guinness you can drink, buddy.
Oh. Thanks, you guys.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
signing
thanks,
out.
guys. Have a good
Night,
night.
Good job, everybody.
everybody.
See ya.
all right. Good
See
night,
y'all.
Kim. See you
See you in
guys.
2
See you,
weeks.
Dina.
Bye.
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 See you, Mass.